Yo, what's up everybody, my name is Jay, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to edit like Natt Jongsala, more specifically this edit here. And as you can see, he edited the video using After Effects. I tried using CapCut to replicate it to my best ability, and I think I did a pretty good job with it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And all the assets are going to be in the description for free, so if you want to download and follow along, you're more than welcome to. The first thing you got to do obviously is to import all the assets here, and once you're done that, you're gonna drag the original video, the raw video here in the main channel.
What does the average Beast main channel video cost right now?
I think the average video right now is around $2.1 million.
And then I'm gonna cut it before the scene changes. So you wanna make sure it's accurate. So you gotta move like frame by frame by pressing the arrow key here, and then you press Command B to cut the video. So now we're gonna work on our first scene. You drag the big blue solid here, and then you want to uncheck the uniform scale button here. So this way you can, adjust the width and height separately. So the width you want to put it to 92, and height you want to put it to 25, and just don't change anything else. So it's gonna stay in the middle. And now we're gonna do the text that says video cost. So we're gonna drag it text here, and then just type video cost. And for the font, we're gonna change it to this one. You can look it up here, but it should be already in your CapCut. But if you don't have it, you can just download it. It's really simple. It's a couple of steps, and then you want to change the scale to 190 so it fits the box. And now you want to adjust it like this. Okay, now we can drag another text here, and then write how much Mr. Beast. Drag it up around here, and you change the fonts to this time is, I think it should be this one. Look it up. Should be Helvetica, and we're gonna add a little bit of shadow to it so it's more visible. And just keep it as default. You don't gotta change anything. Drag the Mr. Beast picture here. So make sure you drag it below the big blue solid, and we're gonna animate it. So first off, you want to change the scale to 150, and then you drag it down to around here, and then we're gonna make a keyframe, and we're gonna go for it around 45 frames. So you press shift, and then you press the right arrow key, press it 4 times, 1 2 3 4, that's 40 frames here. And then you just press the arrow key 5 more times, 1 2 3 4 5, that's 45 frames. And then you want to drag it up to around here, right here. Yep. So now it's going to be animated.
What does the average Beast main channel video cost right now?
Probably want to adjust the first keyframe a little bit, make it a little bit lower, like it. Yeah. And then now you want to go smooth out the keyframes. So you want to press Alt K or Option K if you have a Mac, and then you want to open the Y position, and then you highlight both of them, both the keyframes, and then you press this button, and then you do easel 1.
What is the average Beast main channel video?
Let's see.
What does the average Beast main channel video cost
Pretty good,
now?
but I think I can make it a little bit better. So you're just gonna play around with the keyframes, something like this.
What does the average Beast main channel video cost?
Yeah, that's pretty good. And before we do anything else, we're gonna trim all of the assets here. So right before the next scene. So here we're gonna press Command B, and then just delete everything. Drag this weird shape thing under Mr. Beast, and then we're gonna animate it. And first off, we're gonna change the scale to 60%, and then we're gonna trim it right here. And then we're gonna move for around 20 frames. Then we're gonna drag it down. I'm just gonna make sure the position is right. Somewhere like here is pretty good. And let's go back because we're gonna animate this scale. So 19 frames. Add a keyframe, change it to 1, and then I guess like move for 30 frames, and then change it back to 60.
What does the average Beast main channel video cost right now?
I think the average...
It's not bad. And now press Option K, and we're gonna smooth it out. We're gonna use easel 1.
Beast main channel video
and then
cost right now.
Adjust it a little bit. It should be good. Somewhere like this.
Average Beast main channel video cost.
Perfect.
Right now.
Okay, now we're gonna add an effect called play pendulum to both Mr. Beast and the shape, and we're gonna change it to 10, 10, and 65. Okay, we're gonna change it to 10 for twist, 10 strength, 0 for sharpen, and 65 for speed. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the shape 2. 10, 10, 0, 65.
What does the average Beast main channel video cost right now?
I think the average video right
Awesome. Okay, now we're done with the first scene and we're gonna move on to probably the captions. So you head over to text and then do auto caption and click generate. So after it's done generating, you just wanna go tweak it a little bit, because if you look at here, like every sentence is just too long, because ideally you want each sentence to be like 2 to 3 words only. So I'm probably gonna chop it up and probably fast forward this part. So after you're done tweaking and chopping a caption, you want to change the font to this one, and then you want to increase the font size to 17 and kind of just drag it down a little bit, but make sure it's still in the middle, and make sure apply to all is checked, so every caption is gonna like, you know, change along with it. And you also add a little bit of shadow to it so it looks more visible. So I added caption for basically most of the video, but other than here, the first part, because we're gonna add our own little animation to it, so we don't need any like caption behind. Now we're gonna do the second scene, which is
around $2.1 million. Well, obviously
this animation, so just text showing up and then a little bit of zoom in for the background. Yeah, this one is really simple. So we're gonna do text, add text, and then here 2.1 M, and then we're gonna use the same font as the video cost one, so it should be this one, and we're gonna increase the font size to 19, and we're gonna change the color and the scale to 250. 19, 250, and then probably gonna add a little bit of shadow too. It looks pretty good. So we're gonna change the color of the text to basically the same as this thing here, so the big blue solid. So all you gotta do is to go to color, and then, you know, choose this is like pick color thing, and just choose it, and then boom, there we go. And then you just gotta adjust it to the right position, so I guess around somewhere around here should be good. Okay, then we're gonna animate it. So there's a little slide up
2.1
animation, and then we're gonna change it to 0.4, and then we're gonna tweak the opacity too. I'm gonna go to blend opacity, and then first change it to 0, and then make a keyframe, go around 1 2 3 4 5 frames, and then 100.
$2.1 million.
So it's gonna be something like this.
$2.1 million. What?
Pretty good, right? All right, so now we're gonna do the dollars. So here,
$2.1 million. Dollars.
okay, so you type dollars, and for the fonts, this one you should use the normal Helvetica. Font size 15, and then scale is 100. Don't change anything, and then you're gonna add shadow to it.
$1 million. What?
I want to change position
$0.1 million. Dollars.
somewhere like here is good. Okay, so now you want to animate it too with the exact same animation.
Dollars.
Slide
Well,
up.
obviously. Dollars.
4,
Well, obviously.
and then go to opacity 0, 1 2 3 4 5, 100.
$1 million. Well, obviously it's around $2.1 million.
Animation for these two texts, which is going to be is slide down and a opacity change. But if you go to animation and then you go to L here, I don't think there is the slide down animation. There's one here, but it's not a slide down, because it slides to right first, so it's not legit, so we're not going to use it. We're just going to animate it by ourselves. So go to the end and then go back 4 frames, 1 2 3 4, and then want to keyframe the opacity and the position too. Do the same for dollars and the position, then go 4 frames forward or 3 frames, and you want to drag it down, but remember the Y position. So when you're dragging it down, just make sure it didn't change. I mean the X position. So 666. So you gotta remember, you gotta memorize this. So when you drag it down, because it's gonna change a little bit, so around this position, so it should be good, and then change the opacity to 0, and then you do the same for this. So remember the position, the X position, -367, and then you drag it down to around here, I guess, change it back to -367, and then opacity 0. You can probably change the keyframes, and then like here,
Well, obviously
looks pretty
around
good now.
$2.1 million.
Zoom in animation for the original video, make sure you're putting your keyframes before the text. Add a keyframe to the scale and position, and then the end keyframe should be before it says cause, like I guess here.
It's like,
and then you want to put it to 125, and then you kind of drag it to like a little bit to the left and a little bit up, like here.
it's around $2.1 million.
It doesn't look that good right now because the animation is a little bit, it's not smooth at all. So you press Option K or Alt K, and then you want to go play around with the keyframes. I'm just gonna use ESL
$2.1 million.
and then
Well,
tweak it a little bit here.
$2.1 million.
Yeah, you want to make sure that the keyframes is the fastest at first, and then kind of like go slower at the end. Do the same thing for X and Y position too.
$2.1 million. Well, obviously,
And smooth it out a little bit better. And then you're gonna do the same for X position. Third scene now, which is gonna be the hardest one. But anyways, you want to use this one, the grid s.png. Drag it here, and then when it sets cost like, and then you want to put it around there.
it's like,
So here, and then you want to set the scale to 395. This.
varies. It's like
Yeah.
Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is to keyframe the opacity to 0, and then count 5 frames forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna do 100. Yeah, it's like a little nice little transition here. And now we're gonna drag our video. You can drag whatever video you want, but I'm just gonna copy the ones that were used in Natt's videos. So the first one is I Survived 7 Days in an Abandoned City. You can just download these videos from YouTube, which is really easy. We're gonna turn off the volume.
he's on a deserted island. It's completely different than.
I'm just gonna chop it. And look, this is a little bit too big, so we're gonna change this scale a little bit. Alright, we're gonna change the scale to 90%, and then we're gonna go to mask. We want the rounded corners, because right now the corner is like sharp. So we want to go to rectangle, and then you might want to zoom in so it's gonna be easier. Something like this is pretty good. And then we're gonna do, for the round corners, we're gonna do 20.
So it's like 7 days.
So it looks way better now. Okay, so something like this. And now we're gonna drag the green screen time bar thing here, and we're gonna cut it out using chroma key. Pick the green, and then just turn it to 100. Then we're gonna put it, make sure it's on top of it, and then you can just choose whatever part you like. So I kind of like this part, so you cut it out.
Varies. So it's like 7 days on a deserted island.
And you trim it at the end, and probably drag it down a little bit too. And then we're gonna make the text. We're just gonna be I survived 7 days in an abandoned city. Go to text, just type in I survived 7 days in an abandoned city. For the font you want to use, I think this one. It should be in CapCut too, so don't worry about it. Alright, so you want to lower the font size to 14, change it to black, and then add shadow and drop the scale down to 66. Something like this is perfect.
It varies. So it's like 7 days on a deserted island.
Now we're gonna animate the I survived 7 days in an abandoned city, this text. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames in, and then you put your text here, and then we're gonna go to the animation tab, and then we're gonna use an effect called showing up.
Like 7 varies. So it's like 7 days on a.
After you've done that, we're gonna make it a compound clip. You just highlight all of them, all 3 of them here, and then create compound clip, and we're gonna animate the whole compound clip in. So we're gonna go to animation. I think we can just use slide up, and that's gonna be good.
It's like
Set it to 0.3 seconds.
So it's like 7 days on a deserted
that's
island.
good now. And we're gonna animate the scale of the grid and the compound clip here. So you count around 10 frames. I think around 13 frames in, you make a keyframe on a scale. And then let's see.
7 days.
So when it's saying it's completely, we're gonna make another keyframe right before that here, and we're gonna change it to 314. Let me see.
So it's like 7 days on a deserted island. It's completely different.
And we're gonna do the same for the compound clip too. So go back to the same point where you make your first keyframe on the scale for the grid. You make one for the compound clip, and then you press this button. So which is gonna get you to the next keyframe, and then you put 90 here. Yeah, it's gonna get smaller.
So it's like
Yeah.
7 days on a deserted island. It's completely different than 100.
And then we're gonna do the transition. So this is gonna like swipe to the left side, and then the next video is gonna swipe to this side here. I don't know if you know what I mean, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna make another compound clip. So Command C or Control C, click on the compound clip, and then Command V. So you paste it, and we're gonna undo compound clip, and then we're gonna import our new video in, which is really simple with this method. So all you gotta do is put the video, like drag your new video, and then just put it on top of here.
Behind me are 100 people.
There you go.
Ages 1 to 100.
Then we're gonna change the text to age 1 to 100, fight for 500,000. There you go. Now we're gonna animate it. Can put the compound clip in again first, and I guess we can animate a grid first. So from the last keyframe, go like 1, 2, 3, 4, grab 5 keyframes forward, and then you can keyframe the position, and do the same for the compound clip, the first compound clip to the position. And then you want the next video here when he says 100 people.
100 people. 100 people. 100 people.
So here, and then you drag it to the left, something like this. 509. You want it to be a little bit faster, so you can drag a little bit more. Negative 1200. See?
100. It's completely different than 100 people. Age.
That's pretty good. And now we're gonna animate the compound clip, but before we do that, we have to, let's delete the keyframe here first. I'm gonna undo the compound clip, and then we're gonna extend these by a little bit more, and then create compound clip again. And we're gonna keyframe the compound clip too. So just move it to here, add a keyframe, and then go to the next position here, and then you're gonna drag it all the way over here, so it's out of the frame.
It's completely different than 100 people. Ages 1 to 100.
Perfect. And now we're gonna smooth out the keyframes. Go to the X position, and here,
Completely different than 100 people.
And we're gonna, it's a little bit too steep here, so you wanna just make it slower basically. Look, it looks way better right now. And we're gonna do the same thing for the grid too.
It's completely different than. It's completely different than.
It looks fire right now. And we're gonna put the next clip here at the first keyframe of the position for both the grid and the other compound clip. And then you want the starting position for this to be over here. Make sure the Y is at 0. Move it closer, I guess, like this. Change it back to 0. Okay, you make a keyframe here, and then go to the end of this, and then you make one keyframe here, and then you drag this in. Make sure it's in the middle. I'm gonna decrease it to 90, the scale. Yep.
It's completely different than 100.
And we're gonna keyframe it again. X position.
Completely
ESO.
different than.
And make it less steep.
It's completely different than. It's
Perfect.
completely different than 100 people. Age.
Increase the scale back after you switch to the second video. From the last keyframe, go like 4 frames forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna make a keyframe here on the scale, and do it on both the grid and the second compound clip too.
100 people. Ages 1 to 100.
So around here, I guess.
100.
And then for the scale for the grid, we're gonna increase it back to 395. And the compound clip, make it 100. Probably move the keyframes closer. So you're probably gonna have something like this.
It's completely different than 100 people. Ages 1 to 100.
And we're gonna switch it back to the Mr. Beast video here. So for the transition, we're just gonna do opacity.
Production.
Okay, let's go like 10 frames. And then you make keyframe here, and then you make another keyframe. Change it to 0. We're gonna animate the second compound clip to just swipe out of the frame. So position, and then go to the last the last keyframe, and just move it out. And then move it back. So
Just for the production.
and you're gonna ease though. So you do the same thing again, and ease.
Just for the
There
production.
you go. Okay, now we're done with the third scene here. It was a little bit of a hassle. It was a little bit tough, but we got through it. And now we just have one more animation that we gotta work on, which is really simple.
It's probably $3.5 million of it.
It's here at the end. He says 3.5 million. So you want the exact same animation as
On
this one.
$2.1 million. Well,
and you obviously gonna animate the original raw video too. We're gonna copy and paste the text,
$3.5 million a video.
and then we're gonna change it to 3.5 million.
$3.5 million a video.
And you probably want to just increase the length of it. We're gonna move the keyframes too. After you're done tweaking and adjusting all the keyframes, you should have something like this.
What does the average Beast main channel video cost right now?
I think the average video right now is around $2.1 million. Well, obviously it varies. Because like 7 days on a deserted island is completely different than 100 people ages 1 through 100 just for the production of the video. And then obviously I have a lot of people that I pay and things like that. So if you include every cost, it's probably $3.5 million a video now.
We're gonna work on the sound effects, which is pretty simple. We only have 4 sound effects, which is the 3 whooshes and the take effect.
What is the average?
So you want to use the whoosh 1 for the first animation,
What is the average Beast?
and then here when the scene changes,
I think the average,
you want to add the whoosh 2 here.
I think the average,
So make sure the whoosh is here before the scene actually changes. I don't know why, but the sound might be a little bit messed up here because of my recording software. So I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna make it better.
I think the average video right now
Okay,
is
that's
around
pretty good. And then here for the zoom in,
2 point,
we're gonna use the whoosh 3 here.
2 point, 2 point,
Make sure you align it better.
2.1, 2.1.
And we're gonna drag our take effect for the text for the $2.1 million. So we're gonna use 2 of them,
2 point,
and we're gonna increase the volume to, let's say 7. Should be louder, like 11.
Chillnrelax on the track, boy.
2.1, 2.1 million.
And we're gonna copy it, and we're gonna paste it when the dollar pops up.
Dollars. Around $2.1 million. Well, obviously,
Okay, so we're gonna copy and paste the whoosh 2,
varies. Because like 7,
and we're gonna put it here before the thing slides up, before the compound clip slides up.
like 7, because like 7,
Probably a little bit earlier.
because like 7,
Perfect.
because like
And then we're gonna copy whoosh 3
7 days on a deserted island is completely different.
for here. The swipe.
Completely different. It's completely different than.
There you go. And we're gonna copy whoosh 2 again for here when opacity changes. So we're gonna go to the keyframe here,
Just for the 100, just for the production.
like this, and then we're gonna do the same thing again for the whoosh.
It's probably
Here.
3 and 3,
Let me get earlier,
3, 3.5.
and then you align the takes. Okay, and that's the end of it. So after you've done everything, you should have something like this, and that's the final product.
What does the average Beast main channel video cost right now?
I think the average video right now is around $2.1 million. Well, obviously it varies. Because like 7 days on a deserted island is completely different than 100 people ages 1 through 100 just for the production of the video. And then obviously I have a lot of people that I pay and things like that. So if you include every cost, it's probably $3.5 million a video now.
And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And again, all the assets are going to be in the description for download. I'm gonna make a Google Drive link for it. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video and if you want more tutorials like this, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.